Screech Owl?
Yes.
I love you, Screech Owl. What's your name?
Archie.
Archie, the Screech Owl. And Archie, so what's going on, Archie?
Well, I'm 6 years old, and unfortunately in 2017 when I was diving for this little mouse, this car, out of control, hit me.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so I lost part of my wing.
Oh, boy.
And now I live with this nice lady.
All right, nice lady. I think so. I agree. And the nice lady has taken in Archie because
I can't fly. And somebody's got to get me my food every day and clean my room.
And this nice lady does that for Archie?
Well, Tammy does.
Okay.
I just take him on some nice long walks.
Okay, all right. Well, you're a beautiful person to do something like that. That's very kind of you.
Well, thank you.
Archie say, well, we like good news. We like good news. This is good news, as good as it gets, because people are caring about you, especially when you're ill. These are nurses, these are doctors, and these are kind souls. Wouldn't you agree?
I do.
Beautiful. Thanks so much. Hi, Paul Sakis, Good News Broadcast. I'm here with Ginny Pratti. Hi, Ginny. How are you?
Hi, fine, thank you.
Great. Evelyn, I was in the Wildlife Rescue Center, and this is a glorious occasion because you're saving animals. Well, tell us what you're doing.
We're the only wildlife hospital in eastern Long Island, and we take in injured animals. People call about them, and we have volunteers, and we send volunteers out, and we rescue them and get them medical care, veterinary care, make them feel comfortable, and when they're well enough and healed, we release them back to the wild. It's a wonderful thing.
So people who find an animal that's hurting, let's say, they bring them to you, and where are you?
We're on Montauk Highway in Hampton Bays. We're inside of County Park, Munns Pond County Park. We have a license agreement with the county to operate a wildlife hospital there. And yeah, people find animals, they should call us at 728-WILD, 631 area code. And a lot of times it's a large animal, and we have volunteers that will go out and rescue the animal, like a deer or a swan. We have volunteers that will go out and rescue those animals when we get the phone calls.
So out here in the Hamptons, we have a lot of deer, right? And so are they injured often or not?
Well, they do very often get hit by cars.
Right, yeah.
And believe it or not, they get caught in fences, soccer nets, and it's a terrible thing when they're caught. And I mean, who would people call if we weren't here? So we've got brave volunteers that go out and untangle them, let them go whenever possible. Sometimes their injuries are so severe from being hit by a car, we do have to put them to sleep humanely. And but we do what we can for them. They were here first. We're on their territory, all wildlife.
I like that thought.
So
okay.
yeah, we need to help them. They're losing their homes.
Well, actually, I wear this pin, and my business card also represents the world from the moon.
Nice.
And
nice.
right, and so we're all in this together.
That's right.
No boundaries, no borders.
That's right.
And I'm going to be happy to give this to you when we finish our interview. And this is beautiful. So your website that the people can go to is.
It's wildliferescuecenter.org, nice and easy. We have a place to donate there, a place to get help for an animal. It'll tell you what to do in different situations, how to volunteer. It's a great website. You should visit it.
Do people get anything like if they do, say sponsor a deer being rescued or something? How do you do anything to let them know that the deer now is happy and healthy and let out?
We do follow up with people that bring us an injured animal. The animal's released, we do let them know. We often get the animal back where it came from, so we have to call them and let them know. We're bringing the animal back to your house if you don't mind, and most of the time they don't. They're more than glad to accept it back.
A lot of good people in this world?
Yeah.
Okay, we love that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Paul Sakis, Good News Broadcast. Hi, I'm here with Chuck Scarborough. Hey, Chuck, how are you?
Good, how are you?
All right, good. I love to see Chuck here at these kinds of events, as he is and has been for so many years. Southampton Hospital, a friend with Inez Paganuzzi many years ago. We just lost her dad, I will mention that, who I love dearly from my former CBS.
She's absolutely wonderful. Inez is fabulous.
She's great, and her dad was a wonderful art director, no doubt. Chuck is one of the the leading broadcasters in the history of broadcasting, I will say.
Very flattered, thank you.
Well, I got my 50 years in. So, and I'm happy to always see you because I trust you. And I believe in what you're going to say, and I know you're not going to say anything that's not appropriate, at least something you believe in. Chuck, tell us why you got into broadcasting, if you don't mind.
Why what?
You got into broadcasting.
Oh, that's sort of a long story.
Okay.
That's going to take more time than we have here, but basically
Okay.
I was jumped from the Air Force into broadcasting. When I got out of the Air Force, I went to work for a small television station in Biloxi, Mississippi. I've been stationed at Keesler Air Force Base. And I ended up running the station, the on-air operations, about a year after I arrived at the station, and we had to put together a news department to keep the license. Back then, you had to renew every 3 years. And so I put together a little 3-man news department. Back then, men were the only ones that were doing news at the time. We didn't have women in the profession yet. And we started covering news in Biloxi, Mississippi, which got very exciting very fast, and that's when the bug bit, and I decided that I wanted to be a broadcast journalist.
But how about being at so many nonprofit, do-good events? You don't have to come to these, but you do come to these, you speak at them.
I do, and I think it's very important to give back. All of us, we can, in any way we can. And you don't have to MC things, you don't have to make big donations, but to pitch in and help these good causes, and this is one of the best here. This Wildlife Rescue Center is the only one on the eastern end of Long Island, the only place to take wounded and orphaned wild animals for help. And they wonderfully dedicated people working on a shoestring budget. They depend on this event to raise money for them to get through the year. And when I'll talk about how many animals they actually deal with on an annual basis, and even on a daily basis around here, you'll see why they need the help. So if there's anything anybody could do, volunteering is fine. Contributing is fine as well, but I would urge you to consider the Evelyn Alexander Wildlife Rescue Center in your giving thoughts.
Chuck, you're fantastic. Thank you so much. So it goes. Hi, Gene Shepard. Hello, Gene. How are you tonight?
I'm great, and I'm so happy to be here at the Wildlife Rescue Fund. That's the Evelyn Alexander Wildlife Rescue Fund charity event tonight, and we have a big crowd. It's a beautiful night. The owls are out, the animals are out, and hopefully a lot of money will be raised in honor of this great cause, because the animals really are an extension of who we are.
You love animals. You are such a symbol of animal care, animal safety. Did you grow up with an animal?
I did not, but later on, when my children were older, we started getting animals, and I don't have grandchildren, but I have doggies.
Anything else you want to talk about when you have this opportunity, the upcoming events? Or
Cloud is over there with Ulrika under the tree. Cloud is more anxious, and it's so funny because when he is with Ulrika, he hasn't seen her in like 6 or 8 months. He is so docile with her, like he's almost falling asleep. And they've gone to Martyrs, and he started to fall asleep against her shoulder. And like we're all like a little jealous, like really, like how do you do that?
Yeah, I'd be jealous too.
Well, it's like Leona with Don. Like Leona will go and sit on Don's shoulder. Hey, Carly. Just walk around.
who brought Sonia to you? Isn't it hard to catch an owl?
Well, when they're injured, it's not. Like Sandra does a lot of our rescues.
Hi, Sandra. How are you?
So many your way.
And yeah, when they're injured, like that's kind of how you know if wildlife is sick or injured, because you would never be able to just approach it and pick it up or put a towel on it and put it in a box. So either they're injured, they're hurt, maybe they ate something poisonous, because people put out stupid rat poison all the time.
Rat poison.
Rat
Really
poison.
bad.
And then
Because, you know, the mouse eats the poison. The mouse then, what it does is causes the mouse to leave your house or your area looking for water, because it causes dehydration. The animal is bleeding internally. It slows down. It's an easy prey for them to catch, the raptors. And the next thing you know, now the raptor is sick and poisoned. So so it's easy to catch them. They're incapacitated.
Now you have vets that then, what do they have to actually perform a flush, or what? How do you save an animal? What do you do?
A lot of times they die.
A lot of times they die. But they do try and treat them with vitamin K. Vitamin K causes clotting. It's just like a newborn baby. When they're born, they give them a shot of vitamin K in their thigh, and it helps to start the clotting of blood. Yeah. I was a neonatal ICU nurse for 22 years, so when I found out how they treated them, vitamin K for a newborn baby or for a raptor that is eaten prey that has been poisoned by rat poison.
Interesting. Yeah. That happens a lot. And we also get birds. We get a lot of waterfowl that have lead poisoning from, when they used to duck hunt with the lead bullets. And it's still in the waterways, and even after all these years, and they get that. I know they can treat a little easier. I think it takes a long time.
Yeah.
But they can kind of get it out of their system. But it's like, well, this stuff in the environment. Like,
takes
don't think about how long it's going to.
What happened to this one?
They use a
I
chelation.
think Sonia got hit by a car. She was found. A lot of our birds got hit by cars. Sonia. A lot of our birds got hit by cars. Oh yeah, she's been around. She's been with us for over 12 years.
Oh, she has.
Yeah,
Because
so
I know Meep the best. But I think
Oh yeah, she's the next longest. Meep we've had the longest. We've had her for almost 15 years. Sonia's probably we've had Sonia about 13. She came in when she was like a year old. She didn't have her red tail yet. She still had a brown tail. So that's why she's very docile.
Right.
Because when they come in, like Meep also, when they come in as babies, it's really easier for them to get used to being handled. Some of our other birds, like our falcon, he's great. We love him, but he tends to get a little more stressed. Our other red-tailed hawk.
But is she small for a red-tailed hawk?
No, she's big.
Because we have
She's big.
2 that circle, and every year they reproduce, and now there are 3 of them.
Oh, there she goes. That means she's comfy. I love when they do that.
I do too, and I love her mouth.
Yeah.
And her beak is so beautiful.
So I go like this, and I'm like, what are you looking at?
What do you feed her?
She's also called the chicken hawk. So occasionally I throw little day-old chicks in there, but she just doesn't like them. What kind of chicken hawk are you?
So how long did you have to?
Well, I wasn't here at the beginning.
Yes.
I wasn't here at the beginning with her, but I've known her now for 5 years. She's you have to have a certain license for that, and they would never be one because their parents can't teach them how to.
No.
So when I called all the different raptor places to find out kind of what to do, they all said, let her lay the eggs, make sure you replace them with just chicken eggs or some kind of fake eggs, but make sure there's the exact number, otherwise she'll keep laying eggs to make, like if all of a sudden there's only 1 and she laid 3, she'll lay 2 more.
How interesting.
And they count them.
I'm sure
because
they do,
I would go in there and do my, magic thing with my towel and take one out and put the other one in, and they would both come over and they would look, and they would look at me, and you could see in their faces that they were like, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and look at me like something's different, but there's 3. So I guess it's okay.
On the webcams, you can always see them doing that.
Oh yeah, they do that all the time.
Yes, I know, it's great.
And they're just like doo-doo-doo. But she was great. I mean, and I don't think Cloud ever mated before. Like, she had laid eggs before with another hawk that we had that had passed away.
We met Cloud before, yeah.
Yeah, and Cloud, we put with her because he was very anxious. I think he was older when he came to us. And he was really anxious. He was always spastic and trying to fly into the walls and stuff. Rehoming him, and then in the office they said, we really want to see how he does with Sonia. And I was like, I don't know. I think the enclosure is too small for 2 hawks, and I was like against it. But I'm like, you know what? Let's do play dates. And I would put them together in the morning when I got to work, and then 8 hours later I would take her out. And they got so she would turn around and chirp and make these up, and I was like, yeah, like they moved in together, and they've lived together for 2 years.
Isn't that great?
The first year that she laid eggs, Cloud was so cute. Like, she was in this pan thing that I put on the ground for her, and I put stuff in it, and she wanted to be in that. But Cloud kept taking all these sticks and making her a nest up high, and he would just sit there and he would guard her.
It's too bad you can't give the eggs to someone that has a license to hatch them.
We could. They may not even hatch without her being on there.
I know that.
Southampton Animal Shelter Foundation, on behalf of them, my name is Patti. I'm so happy to be here to support them. They're a wonderful partner of ours in rescuing animals, and it's a wonderful evening, and they do such great work.
Hi, Paul Sackis, Good News Broadcast. I'm here with John. So how do you say your last name?
DiLeonardo.
There we go. All right. With a last name like that, you must be helping animals. I don't know why I'm saying that, but what the heck.
Sure, yeah. I'm an anthrozoologist, and I'm president of Humane Long Island. Yeah, for those who don't know what an anthrozoologist is, I'm a scientist that studies the interconnections and interrelationships between humans and other animals.
Wait a second, aren't we all animals?
Yep, absolutely we are. Yeah, every single one of us. So, I mean, we're very grateful to be here for Evelyn Alexander Wildlife Rescue
And we all
Center.
live here, right? Is this our home?
Yep.
Yeah, I got a pin now that says that too. I got it this morning next to Imagine, the strawberry fields. I mean, aren't we all together? Don't you think that the animals that you're involved with are your cousins?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're just one of many species on this planet we're sharing our home with.
Oh, I love that. So we should be kind and loving and caring. So if you knock over an animal, you should pick it up and help it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's our responsibility.
Is that what people do, and where are you located?
We're all located in Riverhead. So we have, Humane Long Island runs the only shelter for domestic fowl. So wildlife rehabilitators like Evelyn Alexander are wonderful, but they can't release domestic animals to the wild. If someone dumps a domestic duck, like one of those white ducks, to the wild, they can't survive on their own. So they contact us, and we go out and we rescue those animals, and we find a good home who will care for them, provide them veterinary care and predator-proof enclosure and feeding for the rest of their lives.
I love it. All right, what is the website over there in Riverhead, right?
HumaneLongIsland.org.
All right, thanks so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, hi, Paul Sackis, Good News Broadcast. Your name, Doctor?
Dr. Scarlett Magda.
This Dr. Scarlett Magna I've seen doing this good and that good and then another good. Congratulations on what you do. Tell us about your organization.
Sure, so Veterinarians International is a nonprofit organization that trains and empowers veterinarians in ecologically sensitive regions. So we're heavily focused on conservation and preserving biodiversity. So our two big programs are in Kenya. We're building a national veterinary training program so that vets who graduate that school have hands-on learning opportunities. We have a really strong focus on wildlife conservation. And in Sri Lanka, as you may have heard, the government is collapsing, the economy is collapsing, and of course there are many victims to this crisis, including animals. Sri Lanka holds 10% of the world's Asian elephant population, and human-wildlife conflict is a big issue. There is competition for resources, and so at this moment there are 72 orphan baby elephants at the elephant transit home, and our concern is their continued veterinary care and their feeding. So Veterinarians International is working on a plan to assist to help continue the care of these babies as well as other endangered wildlife. And we hope you can join us in this cause.
And so how would somebody join you and help out here?
So the easiest is to visit our website, that's international.org. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Just look for Veterinarians International or Vets International.
Now, you've been involved with this aspect of veterinarian work for some time, this outreach, let's say, and not even locally, worldwide, right?
Yes, I choose to work in developing countries that are ecologically sensitive, meaning they're important for the future of the planet. Preserving biodiversity is the number one thing we can do to maintain our existence on this planet. So by keeping animals healthy, we keep humans healthy as well. And the resources are scarce in many of these important biodiverse zones. Therefore, Veterinarians International is working to empower and help the veterinary community in these areas.
Because it's like one world. See, we have this is what we call the world. This is from the moon. This is the famous blue marble. And we're all in this together, right? The animals as well.
Disease and need knows no borders. One world, one health. it's the only way that we can survive is to collaborate and work together.
Magnificent. Is there a website, and how do people reach out to you?
Sure, it's vetsinternational.org, and you can reach me at Scarlett at vetsinternational.org. You can just find me on social media as well, Dr. Scarlett.
Okay, Dr. Scarlett, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Closing of this important event, Evelyn Alexander Wildlife Rescue Center, and here is Brown, who has been kept in good stead as a result of this wonderful organization. How lucky he is. I guess he is. I'm not sure if he's a he or she. He's a he? Okay. Alan is so cool. I don't know why I can only think about Bill Murray now.
There's a duck in New York City. I'm gonna fucking call you like, there's a duck outside my house. Yeah, you need to come right now. You can call me. I'm talking to it. I'm like, duck, here, I got some people for you. You can't pay these rents. It's a 5% increase.
It's okay. You can say hello.
Go to that.
Ducks in Coney Island.
Maybe in Rockland where I grew up, they might have that.
Where's Lucy? Where's Larry? Let me look at the house. Where is it? Yeah, I'm like, Mom, Larry, Curly.
And I don't like that.
No? Until you get to know
Some
them.
people eat that.
Oh, no. Oh, okay, good.
Cheryl, you look like a Cheryl.
So if you ever want to adopt any domestic or chickens, ducks, or whatever, we do most of the domestic fowl rescue from
Okay, everybody, thank you for watching, and the good news, Evelyn Alexander Wildlife Rescue Center, support it, save a duck, save an owl, save an animal, and you save the world. Bye-bye, good night. Nice seeing you too. What's her name again? Sonia. Sonia. Say goodbye, Sonia. Say, close this show out.
Yay.
Say yay.
Say, it is the end.